Yes, our intrepid hero, Robocop. A character and movie that has forever ingrained itself in pop culture. Movie sequels, toys, costumes, Saturday morning cartoons, and of course, video games. Cause you know, a wholesome movie like Robocop absolutely appeals to the kids. All kidding aside, the franchise has been going on for a long time. It even came back as a reboot in 2014. And, it's certainly a thing that happened, alright. Well, me personally, I was always a casual fan of Robocop. I mean, the first movie scarred me as a kid. Probably because I really shouldn't have been watching it as a kid, but you know, I was fine with it. It was neat. So I was surprised when I saw that there was a new Robocop game in the year 2023. It looks like there's still clamor for more Robo. But is this game a cash grab with zero effort, or is it something more than that? Well, I was delighted to find out that it was more than that. Way, way more than that. So it's set between the second and third movies and serves as an original adventure featuring some familiar faces and a whole lot of bunch of new ones. They actually got Peter Weller to come in and reprise his role as the titular character, Robocop.
Drop it, scum.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust. Protect the innocent. Uphold the law.
Oh, shit! Pig found our lab! Why can't you give us a fucking break?
Justice never sleeps.
It's unfair and unethical!
Not to mention illegal.
The fuck?
You are under arrest. Come quietly, or this may be the last economics discussion you will ever have.
Oh man, it doesn't seem like he missed a single beat for the role. The game itself also looks great. It really nails the feel of the movies, which is good if you're going to be taking place smack dab in the middle of them. I mean, there's also a lot more than just simply blasting enemies with your guns. I mean, there's plenty of gunfights to speak of, plenty of criminal scum to dispatch, but there's a lot more to it beyond that. After completing the first sections accompanied by your partner, Ann Lewis, you get the opportunity to do things around the precinct and out in the city when you're on patrol. You can either spend the time doing these side quests, or you can just focus on the main campaign. Bear in mind that doing these side quests can help shape the kind of ending that you get, depending on the choices that you make. Now, all of these side quests actually have a purpose. Investigations require Robocop to analyze the scene and gather clues to further the investigation, using your scanner, finding notes, and even footage that can come into play when you're looking into a case. You can also meet all sorts of interesting characters on these things. Everybody's got a story to tell, and if you do these missions, and if, help out, you get a chance to help shape how their story turns out too. Seriously, I cannot stress at how blown away I was about how much non-combat content there was. I mean, I'd go as far as comparing this to L.A. Noire a little bit. The story comes first, and the action is kind of a happenstance. Now, that's not to say that the combat is going to take a back seat to all this. Oh no. I mean, the way you go into battle is very much what you'd expect from Robocop. The man is a goddamn human-sized tank after all. Though, for the sake of gameplay, he's not quite invincible, so make sure to keep an eye on that health meter. Don't forget that you've got recovery canisters that you can use to heal yourself, so make sure to use them. The Auto 9 is Robocop's gun of choice, though you are able to pick up other guns and use them if you feel so inclined. Early on in the game, it can be useful to swap it out for one of the heftier guns like the AK or the machine gun, since they tend to pack a wallop. However, one thing that the Auto 9 can do that all the other guns can't, and that's to get upgrades. There's a whole system in itself, cause it's not just about slapping an upgrade on the gun and calling it a day. No, the upgrades take the form of a motherboard. As you progress in the game, you're able to collect other motherboards, and they all feature different perks and features. Some may let you toggle a fully automatic mode, while others let you do single shots. You can also increase the reload speed, amount of additional damage, critical damage, and more. However, it's all done by using specific chips that provide both a percentage and directions. You have to strategically place the chips so that they only affect what you want, namely bonuses that affect your reload speed, damage, etc. like I mentioned before, though the challenge is finding the proper chip to place in it. because you can actually also accidentally activate some penalties if you're not careful. As awesome as it would be to place the highest percentage chip in the damage slot, it might not be the best decision to make if that chip also powers a penalty in the process. Alright, so I've been tooting this game's horn for a while now, and while I do love it, I'd be remiss in my reviewing duties if I didn't tackle some of the negatives. First and foremost, my biggest complaint is, at least for me and my system, is the graphics. Now, on their own, they are absolutely fine. We're not breaking any ground here, but for the size of the studio and the scope of the project, it's absolutely passable. However, one little thing that I did note is that when I play for an extended period of time, the graphics get a little, weird. For me specifically, it was when I spent a few hours playing it, getting to the main city block that you patrol for in this game. For a long while, the daytime slash early foggy time was plagued with this oversaturated brightness, as if someone turned up the gamma. It was persistent all throughout my entire gameplay, and at first I thought it was just my setup not being optimal. I don't have the strongest setup, but it tends to hold up. But it actually turns out that in a feat of desperation, I tried just restarting the game entirely because I'm like, oh no, is it really? And oh, it apparently did it. If anyone knows what the blazes that was all about, please let me know. Otherwise, if you encounter the same issue, there you go. There's the solution right there. Another thing that kind of bugged me is when I make selections in the settings, they tend to not save. Every time I select my preferred settings, they go back to the default. That wasn't too optimal for my system. So every time I fired up the game, I'd have to go into the settings and change them accordingly. It was kind of a pain in the butt. But as far as the negatives go, that's pretty much it as far as I encountered. I mean, sure, you got your occasional glitches here and there, but nothing that took away out of the enjoyment of just playing the game, having fun, and watching the story unfold. The narrative itself is where the game really shines. It's like it was plucked straight out of the movies, which helps when you're trying to take place between 2 and 3. And ironically enough, while Murphy's humanity has always been sort of a thematic afterthought in the later 2 movies, the focus in this game is actually that itself. Okay, it's not to say that in the other 2 movies Murphy's humanity is completely ignored, but in the first one it takes center stage. We see Murphy struggle with what's become with the result of his new life, his new resurrected life, and that ongoing internal struggle in the face of opposition by villains and the same people that hate him but who are supposed to be on the same side. And that's what I really like about the game, especially with how it's reflected with the other police officers that interact with Murphy. This also carries over from the citizens of Detroit, though they largely depends on how you treat the citizens as you progress through the game. When it boils down to it, their interactions and frankly, the ending will be affected by the decisions that you make. Will you strictly uphold the law, or will you focus on serving the public trust? I mean, it's your call on how things will unfold, and while it won't change the grand scheme of things, it's nice to see that the decisions matter to a degree. This game is also pretty heckin' broad in its genres, because it's not just a shooter, as you can see, with a whole dialogue system and criminal investigation mechanics. You also get to level up Murphy. That's right, you earn XP. This is done by finding evidence, completing optional missions, finding hidden areas, etc. The more you find and do, the more XP you get. This earns you skill points that you can put into Murphy's various talent trees. For things like combat, armor, vitality, engineering, focus, scanning, deduction, and psychology. Those all play a big part in how effective you are in combat, investigations, and just plain old interacting with civilians. All in all, this is a great game filled with fun gameplay, engaging writing, and probably one of the best IP games I've played in a really long time. If you like the Robocop series, or if you enjoy games about cops with a focus on helping and saving people, then I can't recommend this game enough. Ooh, and you know I'm getting that upcoming DLC, Unfinished Business. Oh, maybe I'll even review it on this channel too. Alright, that's enough for me. Thanks for watching this video. As always, subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit that bell button just to make sure you know when the next video comes out. And as always, remember, stay safe and keep on gaming!